Guys, it's Lisa back with another video for you for Lisa Wise Designs, and today I've been talking about the kits that I have up for sale. This is a new venture for me. I opened an Etsy shop. It's Lisa Wise Designs, and I will put that link down below. And for my YouTube viewers, over the Memorial Day weekend through June 2nd, there is a coupon code, and the coupon code is simply Memorial, and that will also be down below. So this will be the second in my series of 3 kits I've got available. The videos for this recipe album will go up June 22nd through that week. But what I wanted to let you know that all 3 of them were up for sale in case you wanted to pick up more than one physical kit. They would come in one box and then you would have about the same amount of shipping. So just in case you were interested there. So let's take a look at this. You have 2 options. You can get a physical kit mailed to your home, or if the kits are out, or if you have paper in your stash you'd love to use, you can get the cutting guide. I'll open this, it makes lots of noise here. So if you want just to pick up the cutting and assembly guide, it's a full color instructions. It's going to look just like this. It's going to be 16 pages front and back of color, pictures, how I embellished, what were my steps, how I wrapped everything, and it's got in there exactly how you cut everything out. So there's going to be videos, like I mentioned, that start on June 22nd, but then you have the cutting guide that goes along with it. So if you wanted to use your own paper, you could just get the PDF, download it, print it out, or just follow along on your computer. So you would have everything you needed and you could use up your stash, right? If you had that. Well, you know, if you've been crafting any amount of time, you have a stash, I'm sure. So this is what the physical kit would look like. You're going to get a bag full of goodies. This one is packed full for this recipe album. You're going to get a pack of ephemera. This is from Echo Park. Happiness is Homemade. You're going to get a piece of red and black cardstock. You get a Tyvek envelope. That's going to help us put our album together. You get the Country Kitchen by Echo Park. It's 12 pieces of pattern paper and a 12 by 12 sheet of stickers on the back. We'll go through that. And you get your chipboard to make your album cover. Let's put all this to the side and look at the good stuff, right? So, I fell in love with this, well, with this paper. I have had this idea for quite a long time to make a recipe album, but I just never found, I guess, exactly what I wanted to do to make it. So this really motivated me. This is so beautiful. Whoever came up with this is exactly what I would have designed had I had it, I guess, in my head. Look how cute this is. So on this particular paper pack, you basically get 2 sheets of each design. So I'm not real sure which one I like better. The ones that give you more types of paper or the ones that give you 2 sheets to make sure you're able to use that front and back. I haven't quite decided on that. I guess there's pros and cons for each. So this is the same sheet right here. So this one and the chicken would be the same sheet front and back. And the daisies and this garden one, so pretty. It's got a beautiful plaid. It's got pink, green, and yellow in it. I don't know that I would put those together. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And then on the back is these beautiful roses that exactly go together. This is a beautiful paper pack, I must admit. Look at these country ladies. If you are like me and you have got on the craze where you have decorated your house in farmhouse, and this you are going to love. If you like that style, you will love this. Back to my story about the recipe album though. I have always wanted to make a recipe album to document my family's recipes. Not really one that would document my day-to-day recipes, which let me tell you is nothing exciting because I'm not a great cook, but one that would be able to pass down to the next generation of what our family's known for or what we're going to have at the table on every holiday. We'll go through that in just a second again. Let me go through the goodie pack here. If you were to go and try to start from scratch and buy everything that you see here, you would have a ton of leftovers, right? and you would spend a lot of money. I went through and I estimated on each one of these kits, this one especially, see there's 5 colors of ribbon. If you were to buy the whole spool of ribbon, the whole, thing of the tags, because there's different sizes, a whole thing of baker's twine in 2 or 3 different colors, it all adds up very quickly and you don't need that much. Well, like I said, you'd have a lot of leftovers for future projects, but you might not need them. You might not want them. So you would spend $125 conservatively to purchase everything that you see here, and you're going to have a ton of stuff left over. So this, you get exactly what you need, and it's for a lot less money, right? A lot less. Go on over to my Etsy store and look and use that coupon this weekend. You get red and white baker's twine, you get the pink and white, you get the just plain string, all of that right there together. You get all different sizes of tags. We're going to use them in all different ways. The ones that they call jewelry tags, that's got this fancy edge, if you can see those. The ones that are regular tags at the top. So there's like 3 or 4 different sizes of those, tons of those. A Rolodex card. We're going to reuse a Rolodex card and decorate it. A library card. Isn't that cool? We're going to use this in there. You got different types of index cards that you can use either to decorate with stickers or to document your recipes on, but we've got something else for that too. So we've got bigger pieces here to put bigger pictures or stickers on. Here's those clear pockets. These are really neat that I've just discovered. So this is a really cool thing to put in the front of an album. Here's your glassine bags. So here's another thing. If you buy glassine bags, you usually got to buy them by the ton. I mean, I picked them up and you had to buy like 1,000 to get any of them, right? Unless you get them from someone who's trying to source them out. So you get exactly what you need, a couple of extra. You don't have to have all those extras left over at your house. And then you get these index cards, which are oversized so that you can document those recipes if you wanted to handwrite them. Or please take my advice. Give one of these to your mother, your grandmother, your aunt, whoever special in your life, and ask them, please handwrite me a recipe. Even if you hate your handwriting, please handwrite it for me. Because when I found that recipe from my grandmother in her handwriting, it meant 10 times more. And I'll show you that one. Even though I'd never known her to make that recipe, which is really funny, but that's the one that I found. But I kept it because it's her handwriting and it's so special. So, once again, here's the album. Let me give you a little measurement here. Let me get to my trusty ruler here. It's about 6.5 by 8.5 by 1.5, and those are approximate. You got your 2 big tags on the front. We use stickers and the ephemera. We use our string. We use our, can't even think, our ribbons here. So pretty. If you've never put together a mini album, if you've never wrapped chipboard, if you've never done any of those things, this is a good one to get started. It's not oversized. It's not a big project. See, it's not huge. This will be a good one to do to get your feet wet if you've never done that before. If you've got the basic tools, which we'll get into in a minute, then you can make this album. So on the front here again, you can showcase the paper, and since we're using these clear pockets, you can still put things in here, but not have to cover up your beautiful papers here. So we've got tags. That's what I did with my library card. I'm going to use that to do some journaling. We're going to use those big oversized stickers that's in there. It's in this kit here. So I put 2 of my tags together here to make a little statement here, a tuck place. So the glassine bags are front and back. So you've got pockets to pull out the top and the front and the back, excuse me. So here's one of my family recipes that my mother wrote out for me. Love it. It's in her handwriting. It's exactly what I wanted. Fried cornbread. It may sound weird. This is how my family makes cornbread, and we fry it in a frying pan. And we make it at least every Thanksgiving and Christmas. Don't usually get it more often than that. It is delicious, and I don't know any other family who makes it that way. I have other things that she typed up for me, which is great. I have the recipe. It's a really long one. She gave me her famous roasted potatoes, which that's a whole nother story because she she actually makes roasted potatoes. She pre-cooks everything. She puts gravy on it, puts it back in the oven. It's phenomenal, people. No crock pot. It's phenomenal. Anyway, so I won't be able to pass that down, even though it's like a whole day's worth. Her red velvet cake. It's very difficult to get red velvet cake that's not tough, people. It's very difficult. I'll just say that. Enough about the food right now. I'm hungry. So what I would do is I'd put recipes on here, and I'd put the pictures behind it. If I can find some pictures of my grandmother in the kitchen, that would be perfect. If I can find a picture of the table where we have the finished product, so to speak, that would be perfect. Anything that I can find to kind of document, to pass this down would be really, really cool. Well, tags here with tags attached to it. I think that's fun. You can see where I'm going. I've got a recipe from a family friend that has passed on. I'm so glad I have her handwriting. Look at this. Isn't this adorable? Love that here. I even got my sister to write me out a recipe. I'm so thankful for that. Something, my sister's a good cook, I tell you, but she has practiced and I have not, so you can tell. How to layer your stickers to make a statement piece. We're gonna kind of go through all of that. So I hope you will learn something in this series here. Even if you don't purchase anything, you can absolutely watch the videos and maybe you'll pick up something there. So here's the back pocket. I don't know if you can tell, but see the front and the back correspond with each other. Don't know if anyone else would notice that. Back here. And so this is the recipe I found of my grandmother's. I never knew her to make this recipe, but she wrote it out. And the only thing I have is a copy of probably another copy, but I'm glad I have a recipe there. And so I really want to find a picture of her and put this within this album. That is my goal coming up this year. So let's talk about what tools you need. If you get the physical kit, what are you gonna need to put it together? Oh, that's a good question. So here on the cutting guide, you need the paper trimmer and scoreboard. You're gonna need a chipboard blade, which all that means is an extra blade in your trimmer that may be already dull, because it's gonna dull it by cutting chipboard down with it. A paper ruler, scissors, a scoreboard, and a bone folder. Then you need some kind of double-sided tape. Anything less than 1/2 of an inch will do. 3/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, a 6, 8, or 10 millimeter. Any of these sizes will work. Art glitter glue. Any other thing that you want to use to mat your photos with. I just prefer the art glitter glue. I love to use distressing around my edges, so I'm using Vintage Photo in Distress Ink. And I'm using an ink blender tool, and then I'm using a corner rounder on this album, and that's it to make this. So if you decide to make one of these, even if it's not this paper, especially if it's not this paper, if you do something totally different with this, decorate it, please go over to our Facebook group, Lisa Wise Designs, and post pictures. We really love to get inspiration from each other. And that's how we do it, right? And help lift each other up, because sometimes we think, I don't know, I don't love it as much as I love hers. But I'm telling you, everybody's different and everybody makes great art projects. It just depends on your perspective, right? Thanks guys so much for listening to me, and thanks as always for your support. And I'll see you on the next video.